Okay, this is Jacob Schmidt with DeerHuntingSchool.com. If you've watched many of my videos, you already know I have one video where I talk about the three main things. This is the three most important things. If you get these three things, it's all that really matters about deer hunting, other than just some minor little things. But as far as getting these three things, and I'm going to tell you what they are just briefly. One is having good property to hunt. You know, to kill deer on a regular basis, you need good property to hunt. Then learning how the deer move on that property, okay, knowing how they use that property, and then three, knowing how to place your stand placements on that property to take advantage of them deer without disrupting them deer. Now, them three things just sounds really simple, and it is really simple once you understand it. It's all common sense. It's very, very simple once you understand it. The problem is there's a whole lot to it. In this video here, I want to talk about the deer movement part, patterning deer just briefly, okay? And I want to just talk about the problem that most people run into in a pressured situation, and that's the way most people hunt. We're not hunting, you know, most people are not hunting like you'd see on TV. These deer are very little pressure on them. They're well managed. They have a lot of big bucks on the property that these guys are hunting. These deer are competing for dominancy, and that's not the way that most people have it. Most people have, you know, there's a couple mature bucks per square mile, and that's just the way it is. And these guys may have 10 mature bucks per square mile. So, you know, it's a whole lot different. But anyway, so the average person patterning deer, most people, the problem with it is they go and do their scouting and everything, and then they go and hang their stands and stuff like that, and the deer actually pattern them better than they pattern the deer. Okay, the deer figure out that they're coming in and out the same area. They'll actually begin to figure out what time you're coming in and out. So the deer got you figured out, and most people the deer have them figured out, especially your more mature deer. Now your younger deer may not figure it out, but your more mature deer will figure out where you're coming in and out. They'll figure out exactly where your deer stand is by your scent and stuff you leave behind and things like that. And they're gone. They're never going to come by there. Okay. So the key to it is learning how to understand patterns that deer have on seasonal movements. That is the key to unlocking the second part of the entire thing to make you one of the best hunters in the world. Because remember what I said, there's three things. Having good property, okay, and anyone can have good property. I don't care how broke you are, you don't even have to own a piece of property. I have good property. I don't own nothing but this property this house is on, and there's no deer in this property. It's about 1/4 of an acre, no deer around. Well, there may be a few. There's a creek back here that's got some deer on it, but there's no deer. I don't own any property that have deer, but I have good property to hunt, okay? So anybody can have the property, okay? The other problem is, and we'll get into that finding property in other videos, so just follow. So the second one was figuring out the movement. That is what the key to that. The key to figuring out the movement on pressured deer is understanding seasonal patterns. They don't change. They're there every year. Well, I say they don't change. They do change a little bit. One year they may be different than the next, but if you understand it, totally, truly understand it, you can take advantage of it from one year to the next, to the next, to the next without doing any scouting. And you already know where the deer are. You know where they're going to be next. There are people that hunt all the time. They'll hunt a rub line because these fresh rubs, or they'll hunt this scrape, this scrape, this scrape, this scrape, this scrape, this scrape, and they never kill that deer. And there are people that are good hunters that go and hunt before the scrape was ever made, and they kill the buck when he's coming to make the scrape, or just after he made the scrape for the first time, or whatever. They understand when the scrape is going to be made. That is the kind of hunter you want to be. You don't want to be hunting old sign that the deer made last week or 2 weeks ago or a few days ago. You want to be hunting where the deer's fixing to make sign at. That is what I mean by understanding seasonal patterns. Seasonal patterns is where it's at in pressured deer territory. Non-pressured deer may be totally different. You may go in, you may be able to find patterns. Now, you can find deer sign and still hunt it in pressured deer. You have to be, just work out just right. But in a non-pressured, in a heavy pressure situation, to have really good success, you need to understand seasonal patterns. You need to understand what the deer are going to be doing next week. You need to know what they're going to be doing next month. You need to know where the deer are going to be on opening day of deer season when you plan on going hunting. For me, that's the opening day of bow season. I need to know what the deer are going to be doing, what kind of pattern are they in. I need to be knowing what kind of pattern they're going to be the next week, 2 weeks from that, 3 weeks from that, 4 weeks from that, 2 months from that, until my deer season's over. I need to understand them seasonal patterns, and to hunt pressured deer on like me, I hunt public land. For me to hunt public land and have any success on a regular basis, I have to understand where the deer are before they're actually there. And you have to be in front of the deer at all times. You've got to be one step ahead of them. Because if not, you're going to go in, you're going to pressure them, you're going to turn your deer nocturnal, and if you're hunting public land like I do, you have plenty of people around you that are already doing that for you. You don't need to help the deer out to be nocturnal. You need to learn how to find them areas that they're not nocturnal at, the areas that they use during the daytime. Find them areas. And the key to that is, say it one more time, is seasonal patterns. It's a lot to it. Check out deerhuntingschool.com. Have plenty of educational resources on the site. There's free blog posts. There's a membership area where you can go in and get a membership. There are online courses, and guys, I'm going to be adding stuff to it. There's going to be more free stuff coming out, more free blog posts, videos coming out. There's going to be more online courses. There's going to be more online classes. Okay, this is just continual thing. It's going to continue to grow, and I'm going to be improving on it as it goes. Okay, so check that out. This is Jacob Schmidt with deerhuntingschool.com. Hope you enjoyed this video here. Remember, seasonal patterns. That is where you're going to unlock the second key to them 3 things that you must have, is the seasonal patterns. And then once you figure out that, then your stand placement and everything starts falling into place. If you don't understand the seasonal patterns, nothing else is going to matter. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day. Bye-bye.